In the previous videos, we have been copying the database from source server to target server. But let's say you have a scenario in the source server, you have one service account, and the target server, you have different service account. You wanted to restore a database, an encrypted database from source server to target server. So how do you do that? See, when you take a backup of database from source server to target server and then restore it on target server, then what happens? The DMK will be broken. You cannot open the DMK automatically because there is a link that between the SMK and DMK that gets broken because there is no way that you can add new server can encrypt the DMK, open the DMK automatically because the SMK on the new server, the target server doesn't know the DMK, right? The DMK will not be open automatically. So let's show you that example. For example, in that case, I have to break all this stuff. Let's do that. I'm going to break the transaction log shipping. Okay, before that, let's remove this target and then break it. Okay, success. So we have removed the log shipping, and let's remove the replication as well. And disable the publication, sorry, the distributor. Okay, since this is running, probably that might be stopping. Let's try one more time. Okay, all right, we removed the replication, we removed the transaction log shipping, and then let's remove all the databases. And let's drop all the temporary files. Okay, so we are cleaning up the stuff here. So now I got the database, encrypted database on the source server. I don't have anything on the target database. Okay, let's remove this database as well. Okay, it's used for replication, but test we haven't set up the replication. So why is it okay? Probably since we have enabled the replication, we have to disable the replication for this database. The database is not open. Probably we will open the database. Let's okay, so I got to use this master. Okay, now let's okay. All right, since you know what's going on, so okay, you just got to open the database and then clean it up. So that way it will be fine. So now I don't have any databases on the target. Now I have just encrypted database on the source. The source has this is a service account. The domain controller is here. The domain name is meta manager, and then the service account is SQL server. I used the same service account. Not only that, I have restored the service master key from source to target. Now I wanted to change the service account on the target. Let's do that. Let's change the service account. All right, we changed it. Similarly, let's change. Okay, so we changed for agent. Okay, so now if you see, the source has one service account, target has different service account. All right, so since we have restored the SMK earlier, probably it's time to regenerate. There is a command to regenerate. Alter service key, regenerate. You execute that command on the target server because you have changed the service account. Now if you see, okay, so now you got different service account. I regenerated the keys. So now these two servers are totally different. They are using different service accounts. Now let's take the backup of this database. Okay, I took the full backup of test database on source server. Let's restore that on the target server. Okay, I just restored it. All right, now we have, now let's open, where is this command? Okay, so we can use this. Okay, let's use this command on the target server. So you cannot decrypt because it says that I cannot open the database because the data DMK cannot be opened automatically because when we restore the DMK will be broken with SMK, the encryption, right? You have to fix that. In order to fix that, you have to open the DMK. So in order to open the DMK, you need to know what is the password that you have used to create the DMK. See here, when we create the DMK for a database, there is only one DMK for a database master key. That's only one. That is a root of the database that encrypts all other keys. And you specify a password for the DMK, right? DMK is encrypted by, it can be decrypted by either a password that you specify or can be decrypted by service master key. By default, if the service master key is linked with DMK, so you don't need to specify while opening the master key, you can simply, the DMK will be open automatically. That is why you are able to simply say, where is that command? You can simply say this, open the symmetry key. That means what? Certificate is already, you can use certificate and then the DMK is already open, right? You're not specifically opening the DMK here. So if I execute, I got the data value 1 and 2, of course, because I am opening just one key. Probably if I execute this code, you can see I can decrypt a lot of values here, right? Test 1 and 2, sorry, symmetry key 1 and 2. So how to open the DMK, right? You have to open the DMK. So you need to know the password. Either if you know the password, you can, what you can do here, you can open the DMK like this, open master key decryption by password because you know the password. This is one way of opening the master key manually. Okay, manually open, and then you open the symmetric keys, and then you can check if the keys are open, you can decrypt the value on the target. Okay, but you go to another session, execute the same commands. That session, in this session, you cannot open the DMK because every session manually you have to open the DMK, right? Because the SMK DMK link is broken. So now, when you restore a database onto a different server, that has a different service account, then what you got to do, you have to re-establish the link between DMK and SMK. This is how you do it. So when you open the DMK, how do you check the DMK is open? There is no command to specify, oh, DMK is already open, right? So you can open the DMK, and then you have to add the encryption for the service master key. So there will be encryption. If you see here for the test database, let me show you that. This is the database master key. So what are the encryption keys for the database master key? 101, you will see it, it is encrypted by service master key and then the password. Yeah, using the password, you open the DMK, right? But this record shows it is encrypted by SMK, but this is a broken link. You got to fix this. You got to fix this value. So what you have to do, you have to remove this record. That is the safest way. You remove this record and add it. But if some people say, okay, you can just add it, that it will automatically remove and add. But I prefer removing the existing. Okay, so now you can see. Okay, how many values for the DMK? There are 2 records. Now I'm going to remove the drop encryption by service master key. Now execute this command. You will see there is only 1 record by password. You can still open the master key by password, right? Password. Now I'm going to add the encryption service master key. Now execute this command again. Now you will see this new record here. Okay, then close the master key. Then go back to another session. You didn't open. Now the DMK is already open. You can simply open the service master key, and then you can check, are they open? Yeah, if they're open, you can decrypt the value, right? So that's how you restore a database from source server to target server, one server to another server. Okay, so you need to know the DMK password, how you encrypted the DMK. So you don't know the DMK password. So what are the other options you have? I listed down a couple of options. In case if you are migrating databases or copying the encrypted databases from one server to other server, one scenario is, yeah, you know the password, so it's very simple. You just open the master key and re-encrypt the DMK with SMK. Fine, you're done. So what is the other scenario? You don't know the password. Other scenario is, if you happen to know there is a DMK backup, then you can restore the DMK backup from the files. So let's take a DMK backup. So before we take the DMK backup, let's drop this database. I drop the database. Let's regenerate the service master key on the target server. You won't be executing this command on the target server. Since I'm playing with the target server many times, I need a fresh target server. If I restore the same database, it might open because the link is already established, right? It will store the record in the internal tables. So that's why I got to clean up, regenerate. That way I have, it will clean up all the unnecessary things. It will regenerate. Now I'm ready to test the new scenario. So now I don't know the DMK password. That's my scenario number 2. Where is that? Let's here. All right. Now I don't know the DMK password. Let's take a DMK backup on the source server. Backup. This is service master key. I need the database master key backup statement. So let's go to database backup master statement. This is the statement. Yeah, you can open this way. Okay, I took the database master key. Make sure you are in the right database. Okay, if you select master database, it will take DMK of the master database if there is one. So then this is the DMK backup. So now let's copy that backup from source to target server. All right, now let's restore the test database again. Okay, I restore the test database. Can I open the symmetric key? I cannot. Oh, okay. I have to be in test database. Database, you cannot open the database. Okay, but if I can run this statement because I know the password. Assume that I don't know the password. Okay, so let's disconnect the statement. I don't know the password, so but I have the DMK backup. So now how I can restore DMK from backup. So this is the command: restore master key from DMK backup and the decryption by password, encryption by password. So what this statement does is so see the DMK, we are taking the DMK backup. So it will retrieve the unencrypted format of DMK and encrypt with this password. So you have to decrypt with that password. And then you can give a new password. For example, in this scenario, I'm going to say 456. Okay, I'm going to see when we created DMK, if you remember, we have to specify the password, right? That is the password that we can you wanted to encrypt the DMK, right? So in this scenario, I can specify 123. I just want to show you that you can specify a different password for this new server instead of admin 123, admin 456, something like that. In order to open the backup, the DMK from the backup, you have to use the password that it has been encrypted with, and then once you open, you can regenerate. You can regenerate the DMK with this password. Okay, that's what I'm doing now. Okay, you got to use force because it won't let you open, restore without the force. You have to use forcibly open it. Let's restore the DMK. Can we do this? So it says cannot be decrypted, error was ignored, the force option was specified, everything is great, but then I don't know what is this problem. So I cannot open it. This is it. Now can we open the master key? Yep. So this is how you restore. It says same. So open and then check the keys, execute. You can decrypt the values. So here you should know the DMK password or you should have the DMK backup to restore. You don't have any of these two options, any of these things. So then how can you do that? Is there any other way? Yeah, there are other scenarios. For example, um, the DMK has been encrypted with this password, right? Let's assume you have the source server running. You don't know this password. Let's assume you don't know this password. If source server is running, you can take backup, right? Let's say another way is source server is running. You can add a new password. For example, you can add a new password to DMK Okay, so if you run this command on a test database, you can see DMK has been encrypted by password. The password is 123, admin 123, because we have created the DMK like this. We can add one more password. You can encrypt by 246. And then if you run these statements again, you can see the two passwords. The DMK has been encrypted by admin 123 and admin 246. All right. Now you take the backup. You can take the production backup now. Sorry, the source backup now. Let's drop this database and go to the target, copy. So now you got the backup file on the target server. Now let's restore. Okay, so now you got the database here. So since you have added a new encryption password, this is the new encryption copy to the database. You can open like this because you added a new password, right? And then once you add a new password, you can add a new encryption copy. Where is that? You can, yeah, once you open with the new password, because this is the new password, and then drop the encryption key by service master key and add a new service master key, and that's it. Now you got a now you have the DMK is already linked with the SMK. You go to another session, you execute this query, you should be able to decrypt the data. Okay, so if you can even add a new password and then open the database on the target with a new password and re-encrypt with the service master key, and then the DMK will automatically open when you execute the queries. You don't need to open the DMK on the target. Okay, since you added new password, you can delete that new password. For example, if you see this is the new password you added, right? So you can delete this new password. So there is alter data master key, delete encryption by password, something is there. So you can see that here, drop encryption by new password. You just added this record. I'm just thinking this is the record you just added. You can remove this way actually. If you remove this way and you execute these statements, you will see that the other record has been deleted. Okay, so that means essentially you have this command. This is there. Admin. You can open the database master key with admin 123. Okay, so to check that, you can copy this statement. You can open it because that's the key, because we deleted admin 246. Okay, so that is another way of migrating the database. If you don't know the password, or you cannot take DMK backup for some reason. Of course, if you can read or open the source database, you can take the DMK backup, right? You don't need to specify anything. You can just take DMK backup and restore it. You don't need to add a new password and then take a fresh backup and go to the target and open the database on the target with new password and things like that. So this drama is not required, if you know how to take DMK backup. But this is just another way of doing it. I just saw one article that, yeah, you can also do this way, right? So that is one way. The fourth scenario is, let's say you have source server got crashed. You have the user database backup, that is encrypted database, user database backup, and then the master database backup. These two backups you have nothing else. The original server, source server, got crashed. You cannot restore that server, and you cannot restore any of the files in that server. Basically that server is completely gone. Okay, you just have the master database and then the user encrypted database, but you know what is the service account in the server. You know that information. You know what is service account. So then what is your option is you can so you need to rebuild that server, right? You need to rebuild the server and restore this user database. So since everything is wiped out other than the master database and user database, what you can do is you can build a new server, and when you install SQL instance, you can put the same service account, because if you remember, SMK is encrypted by service account as well as the machine account. So if the master database, if you can restore the master database on the source server again, using a different service account, still you can rebuild, regenerate the service master key because you are restoring it on the same server. But in this case, since the source server is wiped out, on the target server, you install the SQL server with the same service account and then restore the master database from the backup. Okay, when you restore, since it's the same service account, automatically the SMK will be open by the service account, because either service account or machine account. Service account is same, so it opens the service master key and then identifies that, oh, machine has been changed, the server name has been changed. So now it re-encrypts. It also create a new copy based on the new target server account. So now again it fixes that the service master key, the machine account. So it will have two records. Okay, and then you can restore the user database. That way you can rebuild the target server. That is one way. That is what I said here. You can read the stuff here. The other scenario is, for example, if the source server is crashed and you don't know the service account, which service account you used, you don't have the master database backup. Okay, you never took master database backup, and then you just have the user database, encrypted database, and you don't know the service account, you don't have the DMK password or DMK backup or SMK backup or anything. You just have the user database backup. That's it. You don't know or you don't have anything else. So that's it. Only God bless you. Nothing you can do. You just have to get rid of that user database. It's of no use. You can't decrypt the data. All right. That is how you copy the database from one server to other server. Okay. So if there are any other techniques that you know of other than this, let me know. You can post the comments on YouTube.